guys, it's my Scraplift you time, and yeah, I'm a little bit late, but I have a very good reason, and that's because there was a very, very specific die cut that I needed for this particular layout, and then I lost it because I put it in a safe place. So never ever put things in safe places because it will always end badly. Anyway, just when I had given up hope, I found it completely accidentally. So we can now proceed. Now, in the May I Scraplift you, Scott, it has grown a little bit since, I think it was Crystal and Moira who started it. And while I have sort of deviated every now and then and scraplifted somebody else, I do want to make it a point to get around to scraplifting everybody in the group at least once. In fact, I could just keep going round and round, but yeah, anyway. So, there are only two people, the two newest members, Shannon Blinn, who is One Scrappy Mama 71 on Insta. I am scraplifting her today, and I think also there's Rebecca. So you probably know Rebecca from Stash Stove Tuesday. So this is the one I've chosen to scraplift of Shannon's. And I love, love, love what she did with this. All these paper strips and then a ton of just stuff, because you know how I love stuff. I have a couple of photos of a hairdressing appointment. And I thought, okay, I didn't want to go monochromatic red, which was the obvious choice given my hair colour. So I thought, a little bit of green and some neutrals, because it was starting to remind me of Chamel's very first collection, which I've got a few bits of right here. But then I thought, yeah, it still needs something a little bit extra, and that's where Shannon's put in the yellow, and she's nailed it. She's completely nailed it. These are the photos. I don't know which ones I'll use. See, this was the during. This was the after, but I don't really love the photo. When I went back to get it touched up, that was my second time going and getting touched up, and I liked the way they did my hair better, and I was looking a bit haggard here because I had to run straight to the doctor's after the appointment, and I was, yeah. So in the long run, no one's going to know that, you know, this was my second time going and this was my first time going, because I don't think I'm going to scrapbook each and every touch up when they do my roots and all that. So the only question that remains is which size, which that's weird. Why did I print? Oh, I printed this one twice, one with a border, one without. So anyway, I'll figure that out. I need to cut those down. I'll figure that out. My initial thought was to use this as a background and just gesso up this side that's not going to be covered under the strips. But I realised that it was very, 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 very quickly going to turn into an Alex special. See, this is what Alex wants to be when she grows up. She wants to be able to find a nice balance between white space, whether it be literally white or some other kind of empty space, and still have stuff and still not have it look like an Alex special. So that's the first nod that I'm going to take from Shannon, is choose something nice and plain. One reason I chose these is they've got multiple shades of cream and white, and so then I don't have to really worry about whether the stickers and papers and other embellies be cream or white or whatever. These will be the three contenders. So there's these from Shamel. This one actually could be used as a background as is, but yeah, I don't, not for this one, I don't think. This is a basic grey one from the out of print line. This one's kind of talking to me. So I have also decided to challenge myself not to use any full sheets, just scraps for my strips. The one exception being, if I want the branding strip, I think that's fair game to cut that off. Or there's this collection here, Salon. I like the colours, and I mainly, you know, I like to buy these for scrapbooking my nieces, and the thing is I always buy these themey collections because they're so cute, and I just don't really use themey stuff a whole lot. But I think maybe I can make use of some of it. Yeah, there's like haircut bits and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So, right, the rest is all sorts of scraps, and some of them are vellum bits, and there's some of this from Love Elsie, the fabric paper, and somewhere here, I know it's here somewhere, and I absolutely must not forget to use it. Oh look, there's more Love Elsie here. Ah, this one. This was hiding in among the scraps, so I need to use a little bit of this too, the acetate. So I think the first thing that I'm going to have to do is trim my photos down, cut some strips, and then start inking and sticking, and that's a very good place to put on fast forward. Okay, grossly overcated as usual. Seriously, I don't know how I get myself into these situations. Right, so Shannon has 2 4x6s. So if we imagine that this is nice and neat, I know, I could use 2 big ones. I could use a big one and a little one, and it would probably have to go like this, because if I did it this way it just looks weird because it's not the before and after. I might stick with these two. I mean, they're already square, so they're smaller anyway. I've decided I don't think I'm going to bother inking all these. I do have a few like this one and a couple of others that are the acetate kind of stuff, so I'm not 100% certain, but I might stitch some of them down. They generally shouldn't be, it's not super long, but I think I've been able to summarize everything I needed to say. So what I need to do is leave some space to have a column of lots of bits down here. And I have some really awesome vintage camera acetate type of die cuts that came in an old kit somewhere back, I don't know when, probably a good 10 years ago. So let's see, let's do a, oh, I never do this kind of a pen outline thing, so that's a good way to get me out of my comfort zone. My hands are really shaky because I've had so much coffee today. So I might have to go around a few times so it doesn't look so terrible. I don't want to speak too soon, but it is not as bad as I thought it would turn out. Alright, now I've got to try and figure out a way. I'll leave all the little plasticky ones and put them on the top. Some bits are ripped and I just left them like that. I'm thinking, because I've got Shannon's here, and one thing that she's done to keep it not being so out of control is that each of her strips is pretty much a single colour or neutral and a colour, so that's going to give me some guidance. So I might just pick out the ones that are not, say, like this with a whole multitude of colours. So I said I wasn't going to stitch anything down. I did. I think maybe because I hadn't inked anything. And then I put these, I was toying, I think, in the fast forward bit with these plasticky ones, and I was going to stitch those down. And I thought, might as well stitch down all the things. Yeah, and that was a bit of an ordeal because if I'd known up front I was going to stitch things, I wouldn't have probably used so much adhesive. Time to sort of put something together. Okay, I'm as organised as I think I'm ever going to be. So, what have I got? I have got these sheets of I don't know what, that paper. It's not freezer paper, it's or maybe it is, I don't know. It's wax paper, that's it. And so it's got bits and pieces from several layouts ago, and then I added some chipboard and stuff like that, and I'm now thinking, I don't know if I'm going to end up using it, but I'm going to try it. Now, this big tray of like crazy amount of die cuts, I don't know what I was thinking. See, the thing is that I need choice, and I kind of make it up as I go along, so if I need a small one, then I go look for a small one, and yeah. So, but I've pulled my favourite ones, and this is the die cut that has caused this entire layout to be delayed, and this is the die cut that created the entire story. So that is going on for sure. But I'm going to keep this nearby in case I need sort of anything extra. I'm going to try and pull from here. Some things I deliberately pulled that I thought would work and I didn't. But if I pulled off everything that I thought maybe would work, then the sticker sheets, which I've got plenty of. This is Chamel's original one. This has got so many cool ones that would look really, really good. We'll see. But I think mainly I pulled these stickers for words, little words that I can slip in here and there. This one works really well in terms of the colours, and some of them can even be cut down, so that's not a huge drama. The fact that these ones seem to go vertically is going to work really well with what Shannon's done here, and then a little bit on the side here. Okay, this sparkle like little shaker sticker was left from something else. But then I've got these partial ones. And of course, the product focus of the month in the Rediscover Your Stash Facebook group is little bits and pieces like brads and buttons. So there's a ton. There's a ton of brads and buttons. Buttons I don't know about because I just want to get this done and moving. But I could see like maybe some of these pearl brads. You know those old school sort of American craft ones. Instead of enamel dots I could scatter them about. I think I need to start building with the biggest bits first. I did opt for the smaller photos because I tried to sort of play with the bigger ones and I just couldn't get them to work. The thing with Shannon's is they're very, very contrasty to everything else that she's used, and so it looks a lot better than this. And besides, I've got a lot of extra stuff that I want to pile on. I like how she started. I think this is part of the title, Holly Jolly Roger, because, you know, that's a Jolly Roger, because Roger on its own is kind of, would make less sense. So I might sort of do that. And if I put I need to also find room to journal. Writing on this paper, it might work, but failing that, there are a few little journaling cards. Okay. Let's see. Where's my essential one? This one. What else? Oh, these ones. Because one thing what was Shannon, she repeated, like she's got 3 of these yellow, I think they're trees, and then she's got the Mickeys, red Mickeys, and then the skulls. Yeah. So it's not just like random stuff that she's just thrown. It's like controlled crazy. It's grown up crazy. It's not Alex Special crazy. And I think I might even be able to get these to play nice here somewhere. If this small one could go there. I love these. It's such a shame they've got the American spelling. But see, the thing is, they use their OUs in Canada. So, I don't know. I'm betting American Crafts told Vicky that she couldn't have her U's. She had to skip her U's, because I know that was a thing with Chamel when she made her collections. She was absolutely avoided words like this, so that, yeah, so look, it does grate me a little bit, but it's so pretty that I think I'm going to overlook it. Oh, these tubes of it's supposed to be paint, but you know, it could be hair dye just as much as anything else. Where's that red one gone? Because there was a red and a pink, and it was my hairdresser. I don't know what kind of mix she uses, but it's just this perfect right in between a raspberry icy pole red and an orangey kind of a colour. Yeah, it's not quite. It doesn't quite sit there. So maybe I can get this one to sort of sit. Like if I put this photo flat, I could put this one up on foam and kind of slip this sort of in there. Maybe that's what I'll do. Fun foam or unfun foam, depending on how you look at it. Oh good, I've got glue dots within reach. Because it's sticky on one side but not the other. No, I'll use the adhesive side onto the photo and then the glue dot onto the page because it's all rough with the stitching, and glue dots are what is going to hold it. Alright, let's get this big stuff and the photos and the title and the journaling, and then I'll worry about the smaller bits. Right, so let's just tentatively put that guy up there. Put this one here. I'm actually really glad now that I printed with a border. Now the question is how much overlap, and I think this will sit just nicely in there. Okay, so where are we going to put this? I mean, it can't not make it on the page, it just can't. I'm wondering, oh, do these have it? I don't know whether these have a good side or not a good side, but I'm just going to put them how they, it doesn't feel like they've got a peel away thing. Okay, I'm going to just face them into the page. Maybe this one, maybe this down here. Actually, if I choose this one, then it'll be like 3 kind of aqua elements. Before anything else happens, I think I need to stick those photos down, and I also need to get the title and the journaling happening. Right, let's start with this guy. Glue dots, they save the day for everything. Then I just apply them to the back of this stuff. There we go. Okay, towards the top of the page, leaving room. And okay, these are the bits that need covering up. Yeah, that first photo is quite high. Shannon's got it quite high, so that's fine. Yeah, actually I'll put it here because I don't want to cover too much of this branding strip because I really like that one. This one can go more to the side. I wouldn't mind to just leave a little bit of that hairdressery paper. Okay, that. And this one is going to need glue dots for sure because we all know about the chipboard. So what I thought I could do for the title, potentially I could not use one at all because there's a lot of words, and I don't mind a wordy sort of a layout because for me it helps tell the story without actually telling the story. Actually, I wouldn't mind to use both of these, Sparkle, Shine All Day and Glow All Night, because I mean that hair was really bright, still is, but I need to come in for a touch up. Right, title. So what I thought I would do is I could, I was going to call it Rocket Like a Redhead because there's, in our Naked Wine boxes, sometimes they give us a brand called Rocket Like a Redhead, and for obvious reasons that's one of my favourites. So after thinking I was all set with thickness for a change, I'm not. I'm just going to play around with a few combinations. Okay, recap. So get this, right? You know how I told you I lost that die cut at the start? And that's why everything kind of got delayed, and I very nearly had to pack up and just give it up until next month because, yeah, I lost that same die cut again, but I found it. I mean, that's what happens when you feel in the middle of the night. Trimming off some of these. I'm leaving these threads loose. Some people pull them to the back, but I quite like the texture that they give. So there's my title stitched down. What do I want to do next? I would like to at least get this big column, this done. I shortlisted, as I might have mentioned. And the things that I definitely thought were worth considering were these. They could be Maya Road. So that's going back a while. This, I need to glue that down before it gets lost. I don't know about that one. I don't know if I have room for it. But yeah, so what happened was when I took the layout to the sewing machine to stitch down the title, I didn't realise that I had some loose things on it. And yeah, everything just went to pieces. Okay, I had these cameras somehow strategically placed down here, and that's sort of it's like the skulls that Shannon has used. I have as many, but they're bigger, so she's been fairly consistent. And then she's used just 3 of these yellow trees by the look of it, and then some red Mickey heads. So not being too random like I've already done is the trick here. I'm just trying to see where I put these bits. I don't want to cover them too much. A minute. Yeah, look, there won't be too much of this showing, but you know what? It's on a page and it's not floating around in my stash, so that's good. Yeah. I wouldn't mind to put these 2. So if I take them off, because I'm always pulling them and then not using them. I've got some words that I think would be quite nice, and obviously the hair cutting paraphernalia, like there's scissors and stuff. I'm just going to chuck this here for now because I don't know what to do with that guy at the minute. Definitely these 2 colours of red paint, because it, like I mentioned before, it could very well be hair dye. I'll put the red one here. And this one can go somewhere up there. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to try and journal on here on the background, and if I don't like it, I'll slap a card over the top. Easy. See, I could. I wonder what would happen if I swapped that out. I don't know. What do you reckon? See, on the one hand, I like the 3 aqua ones, but then this one is kind of an oddball on its own. So if I switch that out for this, and I think the phrase is probably a little bit better as well. I'll just leave that for now and see how it feels. So I'd love to use these phrases. This one I can cut into separate words. This one's going to be a lot more difficult. Because I thought this one, but then that would be like yellow, yellow. Okay. What if I did this? I kind of don't mind moving this closer to the top of the page, and then I could put that there. Pretend I never actually pulled this out of the packaging, because I want to cover over that. So, and I might actually, because it's a thin sticker from a sticker book, I'm probably going to have to either stick it on a bit of cardstock, or I had that foam floating around somewhere, didn't I? Now the question is, can I cover over this phrase without it being obvious that there even is one there? Yes, I think we did it. Oh my gosh. Look, there are tiny bits showing, but you've got to look really, really hard to pick it up. This will do. I'll tell you what, it's at this point that I'm kind of regretting not inking stuff. I could still ink the embellies though. Maybe I will. these acetate things with the help of glue dots, and this one clearly, see, this one didn't have glue dots, it had regular adhesive, so glue dots to the rescue once again. These two I wanted to use together, Shine All Day and Glow All Night, although now that I'm looking at this, I don't really like these two together there. See, now what I don't like is pink, pink, red, but it is paint tube, not paint tube, paint tube. I don't see that there's any other way around that unless I switch these two. Yeah, maybe I'll have to do that. So, where do we try and squeeze this? Here, here. No, because that's what I didn't like in the first place. Oh, what about like this? Because, I mean, you know that's a camera, right? You don't need to see all of it. Yeah, okay. Right. Just need to rotate it enough that can be seen. That's fine. Okay, I like that a little bit better. I still want something here. A hairdryer, maybe the hairdryer. Alright, before I do anything else, I'm going to put the journaling down. I've drafted it, so I'm going to try and write really small. Okay, here goes. Mistakes later, but I think we got there in the end. Oh, this is not even. Why is this not sticking? It's had these on the back and everything. I am not going anywhere near liquid glue. But the good news is I got to use one of those stickers that I pulled off for a different layout I did some time ago and I didn't use. So every sticker that comes off the wax paper, I pulled these off, and then they're not going back on. They are going to find a home somewhere on the page. So what if I put this one here and maybe this one down here? I still need to put the date somewhere. I even thought that there's still just the tiniest little bit of that previous journaling showing. So I could tuck this under there. Alright, let's just get this stuck on. Although this bright pop of turquoise kind of looks a little bit random. Now this. Okay, this needs to go somewhere in its entirety. I might just put it up here because honestly there's really nothing in the top of this photo that is going to be lost. And this one, I could put it, yeah, you know, because I've already started that trend of, because I was going to put it up here somewhere, but now that I've started doing that, did it with that guy, I'll do it the same with this one. Now, I did mention, or maybe I didn't, in Sarah's Scraps Rediscover Your Stash group, there's a monthly product focus, and this month it's Brad's buttons and little things. Now, buttons, I've picked out all the little pearl ones, and there's some gem ones. So I thought I could just like scatter some just down here. But also I have these ones by Pebbles. They're super dimensional. So I have to figure out where I'm going to put them. Where is my beloved Brad setup? So I don't know if they make these anymore. It's a We Are Memory Keepers one. So you, like, after you use the stubby bit, you use this bit to like flatten the prongs on the back. So if you don't have very strong hands, it is the best invention ever. There's already a riot of colour, so I think I'm going to stick to these. They look kind of cream, but when you can put them next to something white, they look almost greenish. They're a little bit weird. I'll put one in this corner somewhere and one here somewhere. Well, this is my version of this. I'm sorry, Shannon, it's an Alex special, but there was always the risk. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Please go and check out Shannon. She makes beautiful pages and she's a lot of fun and she's really, really lovely too. Goes without saying, please check out everybody else on the May I Scraplift You squad. So thanks so much for watching and I hope to see you again soon. Bye!